Today on 3D Outdoors, Piper and I are going to show you how to replace the screen on your patio screen door. Alright, we're going to change out the screen on the patio door, and why are we doing that, Piper? Well, at the bottom there kind of looks like a hole about the size of a Piper head. Although in Piper's defense, it was not her fault. She was used to us leaving the doors open and she was just running back and forth. Well, with all the bugs we're starting to get now, we slid the door shut and she ran right into the screen. We heard a pop and looked, and there she stood, all kind of like, whoops. So we're going to get this laid down here and we're going to show you how to fix that. Like this, you're going to need some supplies. You're going to need some screen to replace what you're taking out of there. I bought some pet strong screen. I'll put a link down below so you can find it. But this will help ensure that Piper can't put her nose through it again. You may need some screening spline. I picked up some of that. You may be able to reuse your old, or you may not be able to. So I picked up some new. Need yourself a nice sharp razor blade, screwdriver possibly, and some duct tape. And so first of all, we want to make sure that we got this thing nice and flat. Now some screen doors you need to take the handle off of. I think I can work around this one here. So we're going to do it that way. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go around and we're going to duct tape down the edge of this. So I'm going to get some strips here. I'll probably fast forward through this real quick while Piper and I get this stuff down, and then we'll jump back into it. Now before we jump into it any further, I'm doing this on our living room floor, which is a very hard but yet soft industrial type flooring, heavy duty type stuff, but it looks like real wood that we installed here. So it's not going to damage the door, and I'm not going to damage the floor with the door. Now if you were working, say, in your garage and you're worried about it getting scratched up, you may want to put like a piece of shower curtain or cardboard or something else down underneath this, and then tape that down so it doesn't move, and then tape the door to that so that doesn't move. That just makes it easier to work with. So first of all, we'll get this old spline out of here. Now you could use like a nail or something like that. I think the screwdriver will probably be able to get a hold of it. Take your screwdriver, pry in behind that spline. You can use a screwdriver, whatever you can get in there for a tool to get that loose, and just pull that right out of there. Right, Piper? And that's what holds your screen in place, or did anyway. And now you're going to get that old screen off of there. You might have to pry around just a little bit to get it up and out of there. But it won't come. And now you have your old screen removed, so you can discard that. That's no good anymore, so we'll get rid of that. All right, then you take your new screen and roll it out over your door. And in this case, it's wide enough that I'm going to be able to center this on here, and we'll just trim when we're done. We're going to leave about an inch, maybe a little more over both ends. I'm not worried about wasting any here because I have plenty. And then I'll bring the camera down so you can kind of see what I'm going to be doing here. So we have our new spline, which we're going to push it in with. You're going to pick a spot there, and we're just going to push that down in there. And we have our wheel tool that has that groove that'll hold that spline, and we're just going to push that right down in there. And we're just going to feed that right in there and just run that right along. Make sure it's pushed down in there good. Get down to the end there. And you just trim that right off and finish that out. And you got that one end done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the other end so we can kind of make it taut. So we're going to go down to the other end and do the same thing. We're going to pull a little tight though first when we do that. Snug her up here. Put it down in there. Get our roller with our little groove that just the spline, the groove covers that spline and rolls right on it. And just kind of make short back and forth motions here with this roller. You know, and you can kind of taunt down on the screen a little bit so that you end up with it tight. Now it'll go tighter when it goes side to side as well. And we're just going to work this in here. Till we get all the way across again. Get down to the end there. Trim it off with your razor blade. Just a little bit more off of that. Just push it down with your roller or with a screwdriver. You can finish that last piece off with a screwdriver so it's down in there good. You can do that in the corners. Just push it down, just like that. Go down here, we'll do that on the original end too. So we have them good and seated. Now we're going to do the same thing down one of the sides. Now this tool has two sides. You have a side that'll push straight down on it, and then you got a V-groove side. That's the side I'm using. It's kind of like a railroad wheel on a track when you use that this way. It holds it in place and feeds it right in there nicely. But do that nice back and forth motion there. And I see here I got a piece of spline that's up a little bit. And later on you can work it down in there the rest of the way with that pointed part if you want. But to get it going like this, it's so nice using that groove because it just walks it right down in there. Kind of nice. We get to that other side, we'll snug up the door a little bit here, I think. We're just going to walk this all the way down. back and forth motion so that gets seated down in there. Like I said, you can use the pointed end. Once you get done, if you think you got some that isn't seated quite right all the way in there, you can take that pointed end and finish it out. Not a big deal. And that would be this side here. This is a pointed side. This is that V-groove side that I was talking about. But if you feel the need to run down there with that pointed side and make sure it's down in there, you sure do that. Nothing wrong with that. Alright, we're down to that end. We're just going to trim that guy right off just like that. Finish him down in there. Take the screwdriver to that if we want. Now you're going to say, what about all this extra screen that we got left over? You know, what are we going to do with that? I'm going to adjust the one camera here. That way we got two good camera angles on this while I'm doing it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to bring our razor blade knife and lay it flat and kind of work our way in here, and we're just going to cut right along the bottom there. Just trim that right off. You got a nice sharp knife. You should be able to trim it even with the door. If you want to take it down a little deeper, you can into the rail itself. I don't know that that's necessary. I think if we get her even with the bottom of the door here, I think we're going to be good. Nice short cuts. Pull right up on the screen there. Just cut right along. Obviously this is the bottom, but the remainder of the roll I bought enough so I could do several doors with it. Several windows. We have a regular entry door downstairs with a screen door on it that I would like to do this to as well. So I wanted to get plenty when I did this. Come up to the top side here and do the same thing. Gonna pull up on the screen a little bit and come straight down with the knife, making it nice and even. A nice sharp razor blade will cut right through that, pretty much like a hot knife through butter. Made sure I had a brand new razor blade before I did this tonight. There we go, there's that strip right off of there. Start up here in this corner, same way. Through there, make a little hole, and just ride the edge of the door. Make sure not to hit the screen, obviously, on the inside. I'm going to flip it around. I'm a righty, so this will be a little more difficult left-handed, or maybe not. Okay, there's that piece. And now we only have the one end left. Walk this around the corner. There. And come down just like we did all the others. And there we go. There we have we'll get the duct tape off of here. Show you the finished product. And there you have it. A few minutes of your time, a couple materials, and a couple of easy tools, and you've got yourself a brand new screened-in screen door with pet-resistant screen and hopefully Piper-resistant screen. This is Dan and Piper with 3D Outdoors, reminding you to get into the outdoors and enjoy everything it has to offer. If you like this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button at the bottom. See you next time.